Terence Crawford should have to fight David Benavidez to secure a Canelo Alvarez fight. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, had a pretty action-packed weekend when it comes to boxing, with some really good fights on this past weekend. You had Jermall Charlo versus Jose Benavidez, I believe. And then you had David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. And Jermall Charlo came out victorious, and David Benavidez came out victorious. And we all know that Terence Crawford is seeking out these high-profile, very high-paying retirement fights, basically. And he only wants those high-profile fights. He only wants those big money, big payday fights. He doesn't want to take anything that might be a challenge to the rest of his career.
The biggest offer what makes sense would be Benvidez and Canelo. If Terence Crawford was to get in there and fight Canelo and lose, then people would be like, oh, he's a 47-pounder that came up from 135.
I.e. a Jerron Boots Ennis fight. I.e. a Jermall Charlo fight. He only wants guys like Canelo Alvarez, and that's pretty much it, really. And that's simply because the Canelo Alvarez fight comes with that big bag of money. And I made a video yesterday. Some things might have been a little off about the video, but it was still a good video.
A bullshit.
But, Terence Crawford only wants to do that because I believe he's ready to retire. I only think he has 1, 2, maybe 3 more fights in the rest of his career. But the problem is if Canelo takes a loss to a guy like Benavidez, or, if Canelo decides he doesn't want to fight him because another up-and-coming fighter has a bigger name or is making a bigger wave than Terence Crawford, then Terence Crawford's going to end up running out of opponents because he's not willing to fight a guy like Boots. He's not willing to fight a guy like Jermall Charlo. He's got the Earl Spence rematch already in the bag. So after Earl Spence, where do you go from there? Now, when it comes to a guy like David Benavidez, I'm not going to be dishonest here. I haven't really followed David Benavidez's career like that, so I don't really know the ins and outs of his career, but I do know what I saw in the replays of his fight with Demetrius Andrade. I do know that he's a big puncher. I do know that he's the biggest threat at the moment to Canelo Alvarez's crown. So if David Benavidez is that much more touted as a guy who can beat Canelo Alvarez, why are we even mentioning Terence Crawford's name next to Canelo Alvarez's?
What did you say, nigga?
Is my question, number one. And number two, shouldn't he have to go through a guy like Benavidez to even be considered for a fight with Canelo Alvarez? Just like he's trying to make Jerron Boots Ennis go through a bunch of hoops to get to a fight with him because he's so-called the pinnacle of 147-pound fighters, even though that could be argued. Listen, you only had to do 2 fights to become undisputed at 147 pounds. So it's not like you ran through the gamut of everybody at 147 to actually be considered the best guy there. If you're putting other fighters through that, like once again, Jerron Boots Ennis, shouldn't you have to go through the same thing? Shouldn't you be getting the same energy from those guys up at 168? Because those guys have been through the ringer already. They had to go through a gamut of high-profile fights to get their status, and they deserve a shot at the king before some guy 2 or 3 weight classes below them comes up and just jumps in and gets that opportunity.
My bad for snitching on you.
Now, I know a lot of people are saying that Canelo Alvarez would be willing to fight Terence Crawford because it's low risk and high reward. Now, I beg to differ. I think, yes, it is a lower risk because Terence Crawford is coming up all these weight divisions, but I don't really see the reward there. We've all said in the past that Terence Crawford don't sell very well. Just because he beat Earl Spence doesn't mean his fights are going to automatically sell now. and we haven't seen Terence Crawford in the ring with anybody else besides Errol Spence with a big name. So how do we know if he can actually sell an event on his own? Now, if he was to fight a guy like Canelo, Canelo's name is going to carry the ticket. We all know that, and this is the reason he only wants those high-profile fights. Because, to be honest with you, the fight he had before Errol Spence, nobody really gave an alpha about. Now, people showed up to the arena, but nobody brought it. So you don't have the history of selling these events.
Man, Super, you were right. He had a way with words.
He's even better than Master P.
So I don't see how he should be able to high jump a guy like David Benavidez. As a matter of fact, if he wants that Canelo fight, Canelo should say, I'll fight you if you go through David Benavidez first. And that way, the winner will get to fight Canelo Alvarez, and the other guy can just go off into the sunset and not really waste anybody's time. Because if it's one thing we know about Terence Bud Crawford, he knows how to waste everybody's time, and he knows how to drag things out, and he knows how at least to negotiate himself a better deal. But it takes so long for him to get these deals that everybody becomes uninterested in what's really going on. So, I don't think it's fair for a guy like Crawford to be able to leapfrog a guy like Benavidez to get the biggest fight out there. I think he should have to at least go through some other hoops to actually get there. And then the fact that he's unwilling to fight Jermell Charlo, well, he's unwilling today, and then tomorrow he's willing, and the next day he's unwilling. So I think there should be a few more hoops here he has to go through to actually get that fight.
So we got to understand here the educational program that you have to be able to figure out whether it will go on the right lines, where the people will end up in a situation where they can be able to really control themselves. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, the people take this local foundation and start stealing money because they won't be really educated to why it's the people's thing anyway. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, you have neo-colonialism instead of colonialism, like you got in Africa now, like you got in Haiti. So what we're talking about is there has to be an educational program. That's very important. As a matter of fact, it's so important for us that a person has to go through 6 weeks of our political education before he can consider himself a member of the party, able to even run down ideology for the party. Why? Because if they don't have an education, then they're nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? They're nowhere because they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. You might get people caught up in the emotionalist movement. You understand me? You might get them caught up in because they're poor and they want something. And then if they're not educated, they want more, and before you know it, they'll be capitalists, and before you know it, we have Negro imperialists.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tubes, so holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flap of cards. And we are live.
Louis Keys, Louisville champ, pocket full of stamps, mouth full of lamps, lighting up the room. I assume summer camp is the only thing warmer. You just a performer, I'm a little more, bruh. I'm just getting warmed up. More kush, more blunts. Yo, bitch on some porn stuff. I never been on tour, but if I get another pound, I'ma need a tour bus. Riding through the city like a young Bill Lane bird, throwing elbows 6 days in the same girl. You niggas never seen a hustler till I walk right by ya. I'm somewhat flyer than y'all. I'm on my 502 shit, and Louis Keys brand new shit. You motherfuckers don't do shit. I'm on my 502 shit. I'm on my 502 shit. And Louis Keys brand new shit. You motherfuckers don't do shit. Hey yo, I got a bad bitch, and she hop up on the pole, and she take it to the top, then she bring it down slow. When she land, niggas throwing out they dough. They probably wouldn't do it if they knew just where it go. Cause they hate to see a nigga like me grubbing, so I keep heat like I sleep in the oven. Wake up, hop out the stove, thinking to myself, why am I still cold? I'm super cool, cooler than you. I ain't scared of no nigga, what you won't do? No offense, but I'm trying to stack buckaroos till I'm rich as a couple Jews. I'm on my 502 shit, and Louis Keys brand new shit. You motherfuckers don't do shit. I'm on that 502 shit. I'm on my 502 shit, and Louis Keys brand new shit. You motherfuckers don't do shit. I'm on my 502 shit. Hold up, better yet, come on. It's that type of shit you can't front on. $5 shirt, $500 cologne. My shit come on, the girls like Shum on.